the South Coastal Hockey League.
Here come the Rangers trying to make something happen. Bobby Donahoe comes in, shot score.
Oh, what a beautiful shot.
The South Shore's premier Masters Hockey League.
Scott Kelly coming up the near side, top of the circle. Goal!
Featuring the legends.
Mike Simon go off to the net. Simon, oh, what a save by Rick Kelly. Net Brinkman gets a break, goes to the net and scores. Jerry Kavak ran up. Oh, nice. We'll pick it up for the Canadians. 5:20 to go. Harnish in front. Nice maneuver. Martin scores. 9 per second after tonight is Jim Stone. What a save. Across. Anzoni, the shot. Oh, Jeff Holstein.
Get ready for South Coastal Hockey, the game of the week. Two teams will battle it out for a chance to hold the South Coastal Cup. Game on.
It's South Coastal Hockey This Week, the pregame show.
Let's join the South Coastal Hockey broadcast team and their guests for some insight into what's happening this week in the South Shore's premier Masters Hockey League.
It's South Coastal This Week, the pregame show.
Brought to you by Fallon Ambulance. We're driven to care.
Now let's join the South Coastal Hockey broadcast team.
Okay, guys, what's up?
Well, the Rangers are off to a tough start in the South Coastal Hockey League's Classics division, but the funny thing is, over the past 2 years, the Rangers have had good success against one team, and they're playing them tonight, the Bruins. So join Bob Hayner, Director John Grabowski, and the rest of our South Coastal Hockey League team. I'm Mark Ducharme. It should be a dandy as the Rangers and the Bruins in the South Coastal Hockey League Game of the Week. It's next.
This broadcast of the South Coastal Hockey Game of the Week is brought to you in part by underwriting from Inkstone Printing, Commercial Printers of Brockton, Hospitality Mutual Insurance of Westboro, Fallon Ambulance, Rockland Athletic Supplies, Dr. John Parker of the Parker Chiropractic Offices in Hanover, Panera Bread, the Sunshine Pool Company of Pembroke, Frano & Frano, CPAs of Braintree,
the new Schick Hydro, for your skin.
That Bloomin' Place, Route 53, Pembroke, by Holly Tree Dental in Hanover, and by Stephen Lee Jewelers of Quincy Square.
Get ready for South Coastal Hockey, the game of the week.
Remember the thing with Andy Pelly and the pads, guys? The fact of the matter is, I said something to Rick about it. Rick says, no, in fact, he's going to come over and try to get the pads. Andy wants his new pads back. Bruins in the black and gold, of course, as they'll be the road team for this one. The Rangers in the home way with the Broadway blue numerals as we're underway. As Peter Fallon, who missed last year and was out hurt, as he's back, and if he gets going, this Bruins team is going to be so much more deadly. Bob Sideropoulos rolling into the net. Jim Stone makes the stop and falls on it in the prone position and ties it up. But Bob Sideropoulos, and he gets going for the Rangers. He and Jimmy O'Toole, that gets the Rangers two people to rely on. Bob Sideropoulos not getting up all too cleanly. A little shaken up on the play, but he's okay. John Zimmer. Bob jammed the shoulder as he get cut off in the play. Zimmer and Sideropoulos face off. One by Zimmer. Jimmy Riley tries to clear it out, and how Sideropoulos still a little game. Go by him, and it's Jeff Uva goes back. Jeff Uva always finds a way to make something happen for the Rangers. Now, every time you look up, he gets a point here, a point there at a key time. Vancouver dumps it back into the Ranger zone. As Uva will get the puck. Picked up by Riley on the clear out, as now the Bruins trying to get something going as a minute into the game. Vancouver, now it is Zimmer. We said Zimmer got 4 goals last week against the Maple Leafs. Dumps it in as he heads to the bench. Jimmy Hutchinson comes back. Hutchinson and the Rangers try to break out of their zone as it's stolen away. Steve Anzoni. Steve Anzoni fires it. Doc Smith might have got a piece of it. In fact, did get it with the pad. Steve Anzoni, he's in that department in the South Coastal Hockey League. You love him on your team. You hate him if you're going against him. He always he's a feisty player. He's like Steve Kincannon in the Legends.
Yeah, just always engaged. You mentioned Hoover earlier. You play these games in the week and you listen to the call, and these guys are always involved in the mix. Good, bad, or ugly. You hear the names a lot in the games, and that's a big key there. You got to be engaged in these things, and talk about two guys that are always engaged in these games they play is certainly Anzoni and Uva.
As right now, the Bruins had the offsides. Martin brought it in, and a Bruin already in the zone. Tom Smith had been set up in the slot, but Bruin defense, which is better, as the Bruin defense blocked the shot in front. So the Bruins and the Rangers, their first meeting of the season. John Duganick, Tom Smith, the faceoff. Smith, the former Bruin, he always seems to have good success against his former team. Duganick, Spence trying to work it out. Martin tries to get it out, does get it by Quinn. Rolls down to the Ranger zone. As Quinn will grab it, as Quinn on the breakout for Hunt. Hunt to the center ice. Spence steals it. Spence doing something rather unique. Spence was in the Legends, now in the Classics. Normally it's the other way around. You go the other way route. But Richard Spence showed he had that explosive ability and can play in the Classics. Rangers start back. This is Tom Smith. Smith carries it in, nowhere to go. Bruins just clustered in front of Jimmy Stone. Tommy McKinnis starts back with 9:15 to go. Opening period scoreless with Bob Hainer and Mark Ducharme. As welcome to South Coastal Hockey League action. John Grabowski directing us. Our crew of Justin Mattinson, DJ Mattinson, Corey McGregor on the cameras. Sometime we'll probably get Rick Kelly when he is not snapping pictures, unless he is coaching the Sharks. Does he get paid to coach the Sharks?
He might be the head official tonight, actually.
Head official?
Might be critiquing the officials tonight.
Well, you're president of the league. You got to do something. As it's offsides on the Rangers, we have to zing Rick once in a while, don't we? It's in our contract, isn't it?
And we don't have fill-ins here for officials either.
Oh, we have to say hi to Michelle Smith in New Jersey, Jim Smith's wife. Mom. I don't know. I mean, boss. The boss of this, I guess. The other. That's the other executive producer. Rangers step back. Nobody. I get it on the verbal. I didn't get the written that sheet. I apologize. She's a big Ranger fan.
Big Bill Sawtell fan.
Everybody's a big Sawtell. Find out it's a Bill Sawtell. Everybody's a Bill Sawtell fan. Uva. Nice move to the net. Save. Jim Stone with
Except
a skate.
for Mrs. Smith.
Yeah. Well, shot goes wide of the net. It was picked up by Jay Parker. Shot wide. McGinnis bothered by Sawtell. Well, you know, Bill Sawtell would be a great politician. You know that? Bill does a lot of talking on the ice. Everybody goes by Bill and says hi to him.
Hey, when Mumbles retires,
That's
Billy's in.
The funny thing is, they would be able to understand Bill. That scares me. Doc Smith knocks down the shot by Tommy McGinnis from center ice. Bill would show up at the campaign promises with the hockey stick in his hands. You know that? Leaning on the hockey stick. Fireside chat. Joe O'Connell.
Bring the right water.
Yes, he would bring the right water. That's become the joke on the Rangers. If he brings the right water, the Rangers win. Mike Chris dumps it in as Jeff Van Cura picks it up. Peter Fallon and the Bruins. Boy, Peter Fallon skating with John Zimmer. Shot to steal off the Jim Hutchinson steal, goes wide as Van Cura now picks it up. Bruins getting a little careless in their own end as it's dumped back in by Bob Sideropoulos. Van Cura for Peter Fallon. Fallon tries to squeeze it up the boards. Sideropoulos cut him off. Riley will try up the middle. Mike Martin. Martin slipped and fell. Martin recovers. But Mike Martin's just got great feet. Martin in front for Peter Fallon. Fallon recovers, gets it in front. Riley's shot gets deflected wide. Van Cura from the blue line shot. Doc Smith saves it. Didn't realize where the rebound was. Joe O'Connell tries to slam it out and will ice it. And it's a good thing he did because the Bruins line of Peter Fallon, Mike Martin, and John Zimmer were just getting heated up.
Doc Smith was, he's trying to figure out exactly what just happened in the last 30 seconds. He was pretty much all by himself the first couple minutes of this hockey game. In the last shift, within the last few seconds of that shift, all of a sudden he had to make two pretty good, almost close saves, but they were deflected. I mean, they were labeled, and Doc was certainly in position to make the stop, but didn't have to. But boy, he was certainly tested.
Spence gets the rebound of the Anzoni shot, tries to take it down deep, bothered on the play. Paul Lafon, who's had good success against the Bruins, attempted to clear out as it's kept in by John Duganek. But the Bruins have said the first two lines for the Bruins might be two of the better lines in the Classics. Flipped in, Anzoni rebound, couldn't be knocked in by Duganek. Because you had Duganek, Anzoni, Peter Fallon's out there, and as far as it goes, normally you have John Tepanek. I mean, those are guys who've had great success over the years.
And that shot by Anzoni was labeled too. I mean, Doc just extended that pad just far enough to get a piece of that. Or that puck was in as well.
Paul Lafon, the former Thunder player. Nice feed to Mark Hunt, and a good block by Richard Spence. Bruin defense off to a good start, blocking shots in front of the net. As it's rifled down the other end, Steve Quinn will go after it. Quinn around the boards for Darren Jacobs. Darren Jacobs, one of the few players in both divisions that has been here nearly from the beginning, as is Bill Sawtell. South Coastal Hockey League heading to its 25th anniversary during the season. Anzoni comes back. Anzoni fires a pad save. Doc Smith rebound. John Dugan, he couldn't tuck it home. As it's punched away and off Spence's stick. Spence recovers to Tom Drum. Funny thing is, Tom Dromey was a scoring champion at one time in the South Coastal Hockey League, and he's now a defenseman because of a leg injury. Spence flicks it ahead. There's a lot of firepower in this Bruins team. And when they put it together, they are difficult to deal with, and they put it together last week against the Leafs. Spence in his own zone. Spence looked like he was going to raise the stick above the boot, which would be a no-no in this league. Danny Sloan comes back, potential 2-on-1. Danny Sloan slides it across from Mulhern and went off his skate. Rangers start back. Billy Sawtell. Sawtell carries it in. In the middle, Sawtell trying to get it through the pack was Bobby Donahoe back and playing well, and Donahoe fires it in to Jimmy Stone, who stops and ties it up.
Talk about a puck having eyes. So, Jimmy, I don't think Jimmy saw that puck the minute he left that stick and ended up in his glove. It went through about 6 sets of legs, Mark, before Stoney got that in his glove hand.
Jimmy Stone is a solid goaltender. Still remember that game, we'll say it now, and we're going to say it, was that last game at the end of the season last year. Jimmy Stone and Mike Martin switched positions.
Jimmy Stone playing forward, yeah.
Yeah, and he ended up being the key, and the Bruins win, and Mike Martin had a heck of a night in net. That was one of the best nights. We thought we had a game, we're going, oh, God, it was the Bruins and the Rangers, in fact, and it ended up being great. Jay Parker shot. Jimmy Stone makes this pad save. I wonder if Stone asked Mike Martin, who was a former goaltender in college, about that. Can he, hints for me that I can improve?
Post-game interview.
Yeah, the post-game was. Yeah, John's right. Post-game interview definitely was the best. McGinnis back. McGinnis fires it, and it's tied up by Doc Smith. By the way, Toros Crusaders next week, our game of the week. We'll get to see Paul Brinkman, who scored 4 goals tonight in the Toro win over the Saints. But that's not bad. When you can double shift if you got Peter Fallon out there. That's the guy you love double shifting. Peter Fallon, who can make it happen. He and John Zimmer and Mike Martin, there's so much quickness on that line. Van Curra from the blue line fires, it gets deflected wide. Martin the rebound. Martin's had 2 goals in both games so far. Zimmer tried to squeeze it through for Fallon unsuccessfully. Martin will try to get it down low for Fallon. Blocked as in. No, Riley couldn't keep it in. Jimmy Riley did keep it in. Jimmy thought he did too and looked back at. Said, did I? No. And he's told no. 2:40 to go. Scoreless first period. Nothing to put on the score sheet so far.
Nothing better than a couple centers showing up to the rink and knowing there's one forward short, because they're going to get a lot of double shifts.
And
it's easy math. Okay, centers.
And you look at this. Fallon Martin,
back and forth.
Game time as far as Mike Martin goes, his 5th goal of the season, because Peter Fallon set him up on the 2-on-1. Wow, was that pretty passing.
Just a beautiful bang play right there, Mark. You give the puck to Mike Martin, 6 feet in front of that like that, and there's not a lot of goalies in this league that have a chance at that.
He'd made Doc Smith commit, and poor Doc Smith was like, normally he doesn't commit that quickly. Zimmer tried to make it 2-0, and a pad save made by Doc Smith. This line's just fun to watch. Zimmer gets an assist. Fallon from the slot. And it is grabbed by Smith and tied up. Believe it or not, Peter Fallon, that is his first point of the season in the third game. Normally, Peter Fallon and they're fighting each other to see who can get more points. Fallon, Zimmer, and Martin. And Fallon gets to stay out there in the double shift with Anzoni and Duganek. Peter Fallon must think life is great tonight. As you said, he's loving this. I'm coming to the rink. I'm going to double shift. And his ability just to fly up the ice and create is so good. Richard Spence, Bruins short-handed a couple of forwards tonight. As Anzoni dumps it in. 1:38 to go. Opening period. Bruins up 1-0. Rangers had a little push up the ice, but the Bruins have controlled in the last few minutes. Sideropoulos trying to come back. Sideropoulos stopped by Drami as he lost control of the puck. Rangers, as they try to carry it in. Darren, as Jimmy Hutchinson, he just snaked the pass through. Sideropoulos from the circle. Chris tries to send it on ahead. Blocked. Sideropoulos blocked by Spence. And now Jim Martin, the former Ranger, starts back. And it could be a 3-on-3 situation. I was going to say 3-on-2, but Martin coming in front of the net, trying to jam it home. Doc Smith might have got a piece of it. Spence from the blue line has it blocked. Crisp trying to take it free. As now the Bruins, Anzoni tries to get it to the slot. Knocked away, Drami back on his own side of center ice. Rangers trying to get fresh legs out there for the final 45 seconds. As it is going to be Mark Hunt coming back. Hunt snaps it off, blocker save made by Jimmy Stone. As it's going to be Kevin Keane and the Rangers trying to work something up the ice. Tommy Smith flicks it in. Jimmy Stone grabs it. Tom Drami just pats him on the back, says, I think Tom Drami was saying, Jim, there are no white shirts needed. Just can we, get going? And Jimmy Stone said, no, let's tie it up and regroup.
Well, I'll tell you, Matt, the Bruins are doing a tremendous job in front of Jim Stone tonight, throwing their bodies in front of a lot of shots. I mean, really, the shots on net right now are 11-4 in favor of the Rangers, but the Rangers have had at least as many or maybe even more scoring opportunities the Bruins have, but the Bruins are getting in front of all those pucks before Stoney even gets a chance to stop them.
I mean, Richard Spence has blocked a number of shots tonight. Danny Sloan coming up the ice as the period's about to come to an end. As Mike Martin will finish off a 2-on-1 situation in that first period as Peter Fallon fed him the puck. As it is the Bruins 1, the Rangers nothing after the first period of play here on the South Coastal Hockey League Network.
Back here, Hal Muckerman at the one period of play. The shots on goal. Bruins, Rangers. Bruins outshooting the Rangers 11-4. Scoreboard 1-0 in favor of the Rangers. In favor of the Bruins on a beautiful goal by Mike Martin. And as I mentioned right before the break, the shots on goal really is not indicative right now of the game. The Rangers are putting just as much pressure as the Bruins are. They're just not getting the puck to the net. The Bruins are throwing their bodies in front of Jim Stone and creating a lot of block shots for their team. But the Rangers, this is certainly a tight hockey game at this stage.
It is. As Mike Martin's fifth goal, the difference right now, that's Bob Hainer. I'm Mark Ducharme, Director John Grabowski, the rest of our South Coastal Hockey League team. Rangers in the home white, rolling in the Bruins zone. Games tonight in the Classics division. Canadians a 4-1 win over the Blackhawks. As Glenn Harnish had a pair of goals in that one. Maple Leafs were down 3-1, rallied to tie the Red Wings. At the end, 4-4, a shootout, nobody scored. Maher DeCourcy, 3 goals in that one for the Maple Leafs. Big story tonight in the Legends division. 4-goal game for Paul Brinkman. Toros, who are in our game of the week next week against the Crusaders, beat the Saints 6-2. That gives you the scores are in the South Coastal Hockey League. Tommy McGinnis rolled it in front. Steve Quinn was trying to help out Doc Smith. Nearly just chopped it into Smith and by him as it's flicked down by Mark Hunt for an icing call. 47 seconds into the second period. has the Bruins on top 1-0 on a Mike Martin goal. But funny thing is, when you look at the Bruins, we talked about when we're praising the Bruins, so as far as this one goes, the funniest thing is that the Bruins have 2 guys with 4 goals, now a guy with 5 and a guy with 4, as Riley's shot blocked by Kevin Keane. Oh, it hit the post. Zimmer just knocked it away from a defenseman. As Bobby Donahoe picks it up for the Rangers. Peter Fallon is moving tonight. Got off a little slowly, but he has been flying the last couple of shifts. He just got it down low. Rangers try to come out. Dr. Parker tries to get it out. And has his foot back in by Jimmy Riley. Bobby Donahoe for Steve Quinn. Quinn tries to go back. Doc Smith is like, guys, can we go the other way? Boy, this breakout for the Rangers has been a little bit interesting, to say the least. Bruins steal. Riley comes back. Fallon, he just couldn't control it. He could have had the avenue to the net, and he just couldn't control the puck. Nice move, John Zimmer. Tries to get it to Mike Martin. Martin couldn't get it. Parker clears it out for Billy Sawtell. Fans on the pass. Bruins try to start back. This line just creates that transition and the snap of the fingers in this Classics division. The Zimmer-Fallon-Martin line is going to be iced smartly by the Rangers. They had to.
Well,
they were struggling.
They just put so much pressure on the defensive pair every time they're on the ice that you get a little jittery with that puck sometimes. You make errant passes, and that's what happened. They pick them off, and the forecheck just keeps working and working and working. Sometimes the best way to break a situation like that is to slow it down. Stop because, don't think that they're on your doorstep because they're not going to move for you. You just stop thinking they're there and take your time and move the puck out of the zone. Otherwise, they're going to spend the whole night in there.
Sideropoulos.
That's what they're doing right now.
Trying to change. Oh, nice save made by Jimmy Stone as he get the blocker on it. That thing was headed for the far corner. As O'Connell tries to push it up the ice. Uva fans on it. Now Sideropoulos tries. Boy, when we had the Masters, the Sideropoulos brothers used to put on a show. But now there's going to be Jim Martin on the breakaway. Oh, he didn't finish. Jim Martin is going to be sitting there going, and I can't probably say what he is going to say because he stumbled after it. Because it is a family show. He had Doc Smith down, out, and just tucked it in. He didn't tuck it in. That's the third thing. Sideropoulos, another block shot in front. Tom Dramé has done a good job. Richard Spence has done a good job. This pair right now has blocked a lot of shots in front. Chris fires it. That time they didn't do it, and Jimmy Stone was able to see the puck off the stick of Mike Crisp and tie it up. Earlier I was going to say, besides Martin's 5 goals, Zimmer's 4. After that, the Bruins fall off the ledge in goal scoring because after those two, only Duganek and Dan Sloan have goals.
Well, you get guys in double figures in this league, Mark, and they're at the top of the league. Worst case, the top of the team and close to the top of the league. Yeah, so you got guys with 3 and 4 and 5 goals, 3 games into the season. They're on their way.
Mark Hunt thought he was on his way. He had the opportunity, but Jimmy Stone came out near side and blocked it. Well, the Rangers only have 4 goals, 4 different people: Paul LaFawn, Bob Bebo, Mike Crisp, and Bill Sawtell. Normally, that's one game for the Rangers. They're in game 3 right now, and Jimmy Stone and the Rangers are being frustrated by Jimmy Stone and the defense. A year ago, 2011, 2012, the funniest thing is Jimmy O'Toole and Paul LaFawn each had 6 goals. The Whalers, Jimmy Toner got 2 goals tonight. Whalers, 4. Crusaders, 3. Jeff Riccio just brought it in for us. I always love it. Jeff has got some of the best handwriting on these score sheets. Yeah, it's just, you read it cleanly. You notice one name missing in the scorekeepers list tonight. Whistles, hand pass. Some guy, who's probably celebrating a Notre Dame win.
I was going to say, yeah, 2-0. I'm surprised. He's probably still in North Bend. Did they play at home yesterday?
Yeah, we're
probably on the charter flight.
They were in Michigan. No, he's no.
He's here. I saw him.
Oh. Well, we keep picking on him. Maybe that's why.
He doesn't want to come up and gloat.
No. He's not that type of person. We just got to check for that ticking in the car when we come out. That's all. Oh, my car special. Yeah, but Bob always has those other zings to him. Is Martin and trying to zing a shot off right here. Instead, let Zimmer. Oh, those two just nearly on a couple of pretty passes had Doc Smith down and out. They'll try again. Riley he'll dump it down low for Fallon. As Bobby Donahoe, the veteran Hall of Famer, digs it out, clears it out, center ice. 6:57 to go, middle period. Mike Martin's 5th goal of the season has the Bruins on top 1-0. Jimmy Hutchinson picks it up. And he just threw it right to John Zimmer. And John Zimmer just couldn't finish because Kevin Keane might have got the stick just enough to slow it down. Zimmer will try again. And Jimmy Hutchinson's pretty quick defenseman. But Zimmer is like, guys, forget it.
Yeah.
This is my show tonight.
Stop,
yeah, this is my show. John Zimmer gets his 5th goal of the season. And it was just like, I'm going to score because I'm down the end. I'm going to show Bob Hayner, John Grabowski, Mark Duchamp. This is how it's done.
That was just one hell of a hockey shift right there, Mark. You can't take anything. My God, he was just all over the place. And how to finish to that was just a beautiful goal. That was icing on the cake right there.
It was the Energizer Bunny. Just wound him up and he just kept going. No one stopped him. Peter Fallon had no points tonight. Peter Fallon just got his 2nd assist. But Peter Fallon, it's like one of those, and I will say it, and I've said it a number of times in the past, is Martin got broken up, but it's the fame. You throw the 1-yard pass and the receiver just went 98 yards the other way. That's what happened for that assist. Because that was all John Zimmer. I think he stole the puck, 3 times in that one segment? Every time a Ranger had it, wait a minute, he's here someplace. Bobby Sideropoulos coming back. Sideropoulos chipped away John Duganek. Richard Spence trying to pick it up. As it's now slammed down by the Bruins and will be icing. 5:25 to go, middle period. The Bruins came in tonight with a pair of people with 4 goals apiece. They each have a goal in this one. Mike Martin and John Zimmer. 2-0 the Bruins.
You imagine what the discussion is on that bench right now, Mark, between Zimmer and Martin trying to figure out. He's saying, what did you just do?
It's like, okay, I've got you. Let's see, I created a 2-on-1 we scored on. You just made it a one-man show. Peter Fallon's like, Peter Fallon's just the beneficiary of it all. And he's having fun with playing this second line, and he's had in the first period is double shifting as McGinnis fires it, knocked down by Doc Smith. But even he's having fun with this one. Lawrence Healy able to help out Dan Sloan, but Sideropoulos had knocked it away. Crispin chips it ahead. Down the other end, John DeBenedictis picks it up. The funny thing is Mike Martin and John Zimmer, I think each missed a game against the Rangers. And they still had 8 goals between them against the Rangers last year. 5 for Zimmer, 3 for Martin. And the funny thing is Martin had to play goal in one of those games. And the Rangers might get their first break, and Paul LaFont and the Rangers can't get a break. Even when they poke the puck ahead, it's...
Well, they just
they called it
the puck behind him, called himself offside. Wow.
It's been that type of night for the Rangers.
I thought they maybe called a hand pass.
No, I
Maybe
think,
he
yeah,
hit his
wait a minute,
glove
you
and he
might be
directed it
right.
to himself. Yeah.
But the way he called it at first, he
Yeah.
pointed to the blue line, and Jeremy Converse, I thought, gave that
'cause
signal.
he was in alone.
Guess what, folks? Mike Martin, Peter Fallon, and John Zimmer are back out there. What do they have in store for us this shift? Fallon hits the post. That was just pretty to watch. That was fun to watch. That was like the Rangers just stood there like it was.
Mark's ESP strikes again.
Yep. That was like watching. You know how rod hockey? The Rangers looked like they were rod hockey players. Look at this one. Martin, pretty move. Zimmer says, "Thank you very much for the gumball."
I don't know which one was prettier, Mark, the first goal or the third goal right there, but I'll tell you, the Martin and Zimmer are certainly working well together tonight. Boy, what a beautiful thought by Martin to back in that pack over to Zimmer on that open side. Because Martin had just a perfect chance. He could try and bury it himself.
This shift. No, look at this. Here they come again. The Rangers might plead after this. Oh, Chuck Smith the save, and Mike Martin gets his second goal. So they each got two tonight. This is one of the best
Well,
shifts.
what's this shift going to bring? It's already brought 2 goals.
Yeah. This is 2 goals in the span of 14 seconds. That's what's scary. Paul Mayer just looked at Doc Smith, who was skating around in front of us. We were broadcast booth, and we're just close enough to hear it. I was hearing Paul Mayer go like, "Hang in there, Doc, hang in there." That's not. This shift wasn't fair.
Don't worry about it, Doc. They just got off the ice. They're taking a blow.
That's the bad part. They're taking a blow. They get to come back out soon.
Exactly.
It was 1-0 going into this period, and all of a sudden, John Zimmer and Mike Martin said, "It's too close. Let's take care of business." Between the two of them, they have boosted it to a 4-0 lead. Martin and Zimmer 2 goals apiece in this one, and they put on a clinic on these goals. John, this is where we needed the instant replay. Holy cripe! These goals have been pretty to watch. Just too much fun. Now, John Duganek says, "I can do it. I've been a good scorer in the league."
We'll take another pretty goal here.
Yeah. That was just a great shot to the upper corner, and nothing Doc Smith could do.
Beautiful roof job right there by by Dugan, using the defenseman as a screen. I don't think Doc even saw that puck coming over that defenseman's kneecap there, because Doc just kind of waved at it. But talk about picking a spot.
3 goals in 40 seconds for the Bruins. Do I hear 4 goals? No. Steve Quinn says enough is enough. This has got to be Duganek unassisted. This has got to be one of the more frustrating minutes for the Rangers in a long time. And the Rangers, folks, they were in the finals last spring against the Red Wings. Anzoni. And normally Steve Anzoni's in the middle of this fun. He had a good shot in the first period.
Yeah, you haven't heard his name since that. Yeah, exactly right. He's always in the mix.
I get the feeling that if this is what we're going to see in the next few weeks with the Bruins, not only are they going to be in the playoffs, but when we bring you towards the holiday season, the finals, if the Bruins are playing like this, look out. 2:23 to go in the middle period, and all of a sudden, the span of 40 seconds, the Bruins scored 3 goals. In fact, they scored 4 goals. The first one at the 5:34 mark, and the fourth goal in this 4-goal second period at the 8:58 mark.
It's tough to lose hockey games, Mark, when you're averaging over 5 goals a game. Minimum with these guys so far this season. So
they both got 6. And looking at it, coming into this one, Martin led the Classics division. Somehow Pat Burks and Scott Varley of the Red Wings snuck in between them. Martin and Zimmer. As Jim Stone right now, Jim Stone's had a rocking chair second period. Even though we got a little pressure there, it's been a rocking chair night because his defensemen have made sure of that. And Mike Martin, John Zimmer, and Peter Fallon are putting on a clinic in the offensive end. Jeff Uva and the Rangers curl and start up the ice. Uva bringing it in. Nice shift and a kick save made. Sideropoulos buries the rebound, and the Rangers are on the board with 1:28 to go in the period. But credit Jeff Uva for doing the dirty work and bringing the puck up the ice.
Two guys right there, Mark. Always go-to guys for the Rangers, certainly striking in when they need it most. They're down 4 goals. They got to get something happening. And talk about guys that need to get it done for you, is Uva and Sideropoulos.
Well, Bob Sideropoulos becomes the 5th different Ranger to score a goal. Tom McInnes tries to become another Bruin to get into the scoring column. Bruins up 5-1. McInnes feeds it in front for Danny Sloan. Uva knocked it away. Sideropoulos trying to start back. Bob Sideropoulos for Joe O'Connell. Joe O'Connell carries it in. Darren Jacobs a little too anxious. Offsides. 59 seconds to go. Middle period. All Bruins. As you just saw the shot of the scoreboard.
I think O'Connell actually did that himself. He actually had that puck over the blue line, and they were on their way. And he just tried to pull a move, and the defenseman pulled the puck back over the blue line himself and caused his winger to be offside.
And the Bruins will end up icing the puck. About the only thing they've done wrong with Martin, Fallon, and Zimmer out there. That pass right there. Next week we get to see the Legends' hottest scorer in the last couple of weeks, Paul Brinkman. He had 4 goals tonight. He had before that, just 2 assists in the game that the Toros had played before that. So Paul Brinkman starting to break loose as they will take on the Crusaders. The Crusaders trying to get going. They have yet to win a game as it's tied up by Jim Stone. They have been the enigma as far as the Legends division goes. They have been an enigma. They have some talent. New goaltender and Bob Stafford, and they just can't break loose. And Peter Fallon trying to break loose. Fallon commits the penalty as he goes over to check to make sure that Kevin Keen's all right. Our first penalty night on Peter Fallon. Well, this line's done a little bit of everything. Peter Fallon will go off. High stick on Peter Fallon. So Martin and Zimmer get to kill the penalty. This is scary if you're the Rangers. There's some open ice for them to do some work. Stone might have got a piece of that particular shot, but Jimmy Hutchison in front. Mark Hunt couldn't get the puck. It was knocked away from him and cleared out. 20 seconds left. This penalty will probably head into the 3rd period. And John Zimmer almost got... John Zimmer, I don't know. Oh, he gets a second chance. He said, look, I've looked silly in that one. Let me try another one. Look, he's putting it in another gear. Period is coming to an end. John Zimmer had 2 of the Bruins' 4 goals in the middle period. The Bruins will be down a man, but they're up on the scoreboard by a good amount. They lead this one 5-1. 3rd period is coming up in just a moment. As you're watching the South Coastal Hockey League Game of the Week on the South Coastal Sports Network.
Back here, Hallmark Arena after 2 periods of play. Shots on goal, 2nd period. 13 shots for the Bruins. And believe it or not, 10 for the for the Rangers. And it didn't sound like Jim Stone was that busy. He really wasn't. Not a lot of great shots, but he did stop a few. But certainly the Bruins just put on a show that 2nd period. 13 shots, 3 of which were goals.
4
of which were goals, right?
Yep.
Now we've got a 5-1 hockey game now.
And the funny thing is, the guys out there taking the face-off, the guy here taking the face-off, and his line mate top of your screen, I think they might have had 8 of the shots. Mike Martin and John Zimmer.
And they're killing a penalty, and we're actually feeling bad for the Rangers right now.
Yeah, the Rangers might.
Yeah.
Billy Sawtelle and the Rangers might request, can we have 7 people out there because then we might be able to stop these guys. Good news for the Rangers, Zimmer and Martin will take a breather for the remaining 43 seconds on the Peter Fallon penalty. John Duganick, who's got a goal in this one, and Steve Anzoni. Kevin Keane and the Rangers trying to get something going, a little flick in on Jimmy Stone. He'll grab it and tie it up. Let us give you the scoreboard tonight. Classics division, Canadians 4, Blackhawks 1, Red Wings 4-4 tie with the Maple Leafs. Marty DeCourcy, 3 goals in that one. Leafs, Marty DeCourcy, as the Leafs have been down 3-1 in that game. Legends division, Toros, Saints. It was Toros 6-2, Paul Brinkman 4 goals. Whalers 4, Crusaders 3. Jimmy Toner had 2 goals in that one. And the Sharks are going right now against the Stingers, as that is the West Coast game. That is why we don't have Rick Kelly for this broadcast. I don't know. Rick is over there. He's doing a great job with the still pictures. A lot of people have requested Rick's still pictures. They have. He's got a second career. I mean, the first career, no, I can't say that. That wouldn't be nice. That wouldn't be nice. Duganick. Anzoni jams it in on Doc Smith. Rebound, Anzoni, 1-2 hacks at it, and he gets it into the second half. We said Steve Anzoni's been quiet.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah, he said,
goes.
Guess what? I want to get in the scoring parade. 6-1.
I don't know if he got 2 or 3 hacks at it. He definitely touched it twice. He might have actually, I think he fanned on it once, but you certainly, you don't want to lose puck around the net with Steve Anzoni in front of there because you know he's going to get his hacks in, and he certainly did it right there.
Anzoni from Duganick. Duganick gets his second point.
Comes with a free shave.
It does. It's only another shot, Doc Smith. Doc Smith is going to say, guys, I know they're good, but can we please cut this out? By the way, the only Bruins win over the Rangers last year was a 3-1 win in the fall season. The Rangers won all 3 games last spring. 6-4, 6-5, and 5-2. The Rangers could score against the Bruins. Tonight it has been the opposite. Dr. Parker trying to dig it out. Yes, Jay Parker is a doctor. He is a chiropractor. He's made sure that our own Rick Kelly has been in shape and goal. Rick's played well, I've heard. And goal. He played very well against the Toros last week. Now Jimmy Martin got spilled on the play. I don't know, it was more Jimmy just caught an edge. Danny Sloan dumps it down low, snapped off. Doc Smith sees a Jim Martin bullet at him that he knocks down. In the last couple, since the 9:36 mark of the first period when the Bruins got their goal, Doc Smith is being pelted with hard shots. I mean, Jim Stone, Bob said Jim Stone has seen some shots, but not at the magnitude and the velocity that Doc Smith's seen.
No, Doc is just getting peppered. He's going to be twitching the whole ride home. Just look.
Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah. Oh, what's coming at me again? Sideropoulos comes back. Bobby Sideropoulos.
Is that 3 or 23 in front of me? 3 or 23?
O'Connell, yeah. Which one is it? Sideropoulos can't get the puck on net. He gets tied up by McGinnis. It's just what it's going to be. He's going to see this car coming down, and, can you imagine seeing the front license plate, seeing 3-23? Boy, he's going to be going pulling over to the side and asking somebody to take him home. Sloan slows it down, feeds it. Mulhern shot save, and he couldn't get the rebound, but a great
beautiful save. Beautiful save by Doc right there, too.
Doc's played well. It's just that he's seen some wicked shots at him. Sideropoulos! Oh, what a setup for Mike Crisp. He couldn't knock it home. The Rangers, they've had some chances, but they just can't get it on net when they've needed to, and the Bruin defense has done what you just saw right there. When it comes near him, Lawrence Healy and company have knocked it away. McGinnis, great feed from Mulhern, and Mulhern had fed McGinnis for a great shot, and it gets deflected wide. 8:16 left. Zimmer and Martin made sure this one left the barn and is running wildly. It has been all Bruins, 6-1. The Benedictus avoids a Ranger and avoids the second Ranger. Mark Hunt clears it out. Uva steals the breakout pass. And look who's on top of him. John Zimmer. Lawrence Healy knocks it back. John Zimmer says, here we go. John Zimmer looks around. Peter Fallon. Now he is the only one on this line has not got a goal tonight. Martin and Zimmer both have two. Martin just cycles it around. Van Curra dumps it down low. Peter Fallon tries to set it up, tries to squeeze it through, and Martin just couldn't get to the puck. And Hunt wisely just chips it down the other end and won't be an icing call. Doesn't make it down anyways, and it's Jim Riley. Mike Martin will let John Zimmer skate right into the puck. John Zimmer is just flying tonight. It's somebody, I want to know what he ate before tonight. I want that type of energy. He is flying tonight. He's got second, third, and fourth gears going. Van Curra for Zimmer. Finds Martin. Martin just sets it up. Fallon fires it. Pad save made by Doc Smith. 6:44 left. And these guys got what? Maybe two more shifts left? Ouch.
At least.
Ouch.
At least one of them does. One of them has three.
Yeah.
Because somebody's double shifting.
Duganek knocked the Ranger down, but it rolled right to Mark Hunt. To the middle, Tom Smith knocked away. John Duganek will start back. He's got one of the Bruin goals tonight. Duganek head of steam, knocked away by Steve Quinn. Then Duganek recovers, tries to squeeze it in front. Kevin Keane will end up with the puck, but coughed it up to Richard Spence, blocked in front by Doc Smith. Duganek couldn't get the rebound as it's sent towards the net. Anzoni just knows how to stand in front of the net, pick up rebounds, and knock them home. This is, with the Bruins controlling like this, Steve Anzoni's just getting more and more because the Rangers are trying to get more and more out of the zone.
And actually, talk about all these great goals that both Martin and Zimmer have scored tonight. The prettiest goal of the Bruins' night tonight is Duganek's.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful, pick the top corner shot. The goals by Martin Zimmer have just been great team plays, and they're all basically empty netters just because of the work that the two are doing with each other. But that shot by Duganek was just outstanding.
Jim Smith said we had to say hi to his mom earlier tonight. Oh, we got a penalty coming up, I think, on Jay Parker, and Jay just got the stick up. I was going to say, earlier, not this year, I believe last year, Jim Smith put together on YouTube a highlight film for the South Coastal Hockey League. I think tonight he might have 4 goals that he could put on. Yeah, he get easily. Jay Parker going off of the high stick. No question about that. And a Whoa! Dr. Parker with a misconduct? That's surprising. Jay got a high stick, but he also he got a little frustrated. Steve Quinn will serve the minor, and from Jeremy Converse or Dennis Curlin, I am not showing up at Doc Parker's office tomorrow. I think you will not be treated. You'll be treated, but you might be a pretzel. After that, he did not like the call. Jay's a good person, fiery competitor. Danny Sloan fires it in. Doc Smith made the save. John DeBenedictis and the Bruins, 50 seconds left on the power play. They just want to kill the clock. That's the biggest part of this one. They're up 6-1. They've broke this one open. 4 goals second period. 4 goals in the span of 3 minutes and 23 seconds. Healy fires it, deflected, squeezed in front, And a couple of opportunities for the Bruins that can't knock it in. Haley from the blue line blocked. Haley gets it again, measures, fires it, blocked in front. Rangers did a good job in blocking the attempted shots on Doc Smith. Jim Stone. I think Jim Stone would like to take a shot at a shift here in this one. Darren Jacobs. 10 seconds left on the Bruin power play. Healy makes a nice move at the blue line, gets the shot towards the net. Jacobs clears it out. To Benedictus. And the Bruins won't have much as far as great opportunities on the power play, but they will have John Zimmer, Mike Martin coming back out. Zimmer, he can't even budge him off the skates. He's got great balance on top of it. Mike Chris was pushing at him, and it was like Zimmer was like, no, you can't get me off. I'm just going to control. What a way to kill the clock. Poor Doc Smith. They're killing the clock, and it was like they were yo-yoing him to sleep, and then Zimmer just tried to push it in front off somebody and beats Doc Smith that way. 3:43 left, 6-1 in favor of the Bruins. Next week, Crusaders, Toros. We go to the Legends. Bruins just control. This is 5-on-5, and this line knows it's over, and they're just controlling the puck. They're playing the clock. Because the way they played tonight, they could keep going to the net. They've had that type of night. Like this.
Ah.
Wow. Mike Martin's third.
I think you might actually feel bad about that one because it's like the Red Sea parted for him right down the middle. It's like all of a sudden it's like almost like I don't even want to shoot this right now. I feel so bad, but he had to.
And he didn't put that much on.
No, he didn't. He just made a beautiful move and actually tucked it behind him. But it was like, where'd all the guys go? They were just in front of me. It just peeled off because he thought he was going to make one of those, one of the passes he's done all night prior to this.
Well, he allowed Jimmy Riley to get his second assist of the season. Mike Martin now with 7 goals. They want to know if we can run the clock. Don't worry.
I'm sure that's what Doc's saying.
Please, look at this. Fallon. Go. Zimmer. Nope. Just keep it going. This one is well over. This is 7-1. This is not. It's been all the Martin Zimmer show. Guest starring John Duganick, Steve Anzoni. They've had a couple of pretty plays in this one. Vancouver and the Bruins. Peter Fallon's got 2 assists. Rangers got a goal in this one. Believe it or not, Bob Sideropoulos' hustle on a rebound of a Jeff Hoover rush up the ice. Steve Anzoni, a little over 2 minutes left. And the Bruins are about to be 2-0-1 and own first place in the Classics division by themselves. Richard Spence. Here we go. Here's Martin. Martin trying to bring it through the pack. You're just sitting and watching right now. It's just, we're telling Jim Smith, our producer, as far as the South Coastal Hockey League goes, can add to the highlight reel, and Jim knows it. He's watched it. This isn't showtime. The old Los Angeles Lakers showtime. As we go to 65 seconds left, and the Rangers are saying, thank God, as far as this one goes. Especially that middle period, they just saw the Martin Zimmer show. Martin had 7 goals in 3 games. Zimmer has got 6. And the Bruins were down in game 1 to the Blackhawks 3-1. Mike Martin scored 2 to tie it. And since then, the Bruins have been nonstop. Jim Stone, well, he almost tangled himself up off that Tom Smith shot. Had it blocked. 26 seconds left. Aaron Jacobs and company trying to get something to go out on a high with, but John DeBenedictis and the Bruins say nope. As far as that goes, Danny Sloan comes back. 15 seconds left. Carries it to the middle. Sloan goes wide. Trying to go around Aaron Jacobs. Squeezed in front. And Doc Smith able to block it.
I don't know what the ref called there, but
it was not
maybe
going to matter.
Ranger in the crease or something. I'm not sure what they did. But
no, it's not going to matter. This one ends 7-1 in favor of the Bruins. He's anxious. He just went flying to the puck. Oh, Michael Ireland, nice save. It's in at the back line. Rick Welch in net. Barnard comes in. Barnard, nice feed in for what a save by Holstein, but it rolled over his head and in.
Tater's answered. Michael Hanks and Dana Dolan, Paney, or check that Tim Cruz. Didn't miss by much either.
No, Harnick in front. Nice maneuver. Martin scores!